And we're live. Good morning. All right, we took a couple days off there for the holiday. I hope everybody stayed dry and safe. Out of our 100 and something subscribers, I bet one of you lives in Florida. I hope you made it out. So, hey, it's WTF CNN. And I ain't gonna lie, guys, we didn't prep a show this morning. It was a crazy schedule yesterday for the East Atlanta Video Company. I was working hard to try and get a bunch of stuff done, spend some time with the kids. So we figured, what better morning to... It's WTF CNN, where basically the point of the WTF CNN show is to point out that on any given day, you can pop open CNN, turn on their channel, pop open their website, and, well, if you don't just immediately see something that makes you say WTF, then you probably can't do math and vote responsibly. So here we go. Fashion Week's about to start. Here's what we expect to see during a month of shows. All right. Fashion Weeks. There's 4 of them. In 4 major cities. Every year, whole fashion show season. But here's the thing you need to understand about fashion shows. Fashion shows have almost nothing to do with fashion. The whole fashion show circuit. No, I don't want a summarized thing every morning, CNN. Don't try to sell me things while I'm criticizing your inadequacy. Ma!
Hey, look, we'll take our propaganda and we'll put another layer of condensed propaganda on top of it and make it easy for your tiny little brain to read and turn around and post to Facebook and Twitter.
CNN, propaganda so effective, you'll pay money for it. So, the Fashion Week, they're expecting protests, and why not? That's what Fashion Week is about. Another thing that you need to understand about Fashion Week, just like bad art, any other kind of bad art, high-end, expensive art of any kind is a fantastically efficient and popular medium for money laundering among criminals. Why risk having traceable funds when you can just trade a highly valuable dress or a highly valuable painting for some weapons or drugs or a couple of slaves? So, and I point that out to make it clear what sort of people we're talking about at Fashion Week. We're talking about people who are actively opposed to lawful liberty and capitalism. They would much rather see a totally tyrannized world ruled over by an oligarchical upper class, which they represent.
Yeah, as long as they're in that upper class, mind you.
Where essentially the world of organized crime is their regular world. And the rest of us are just kind of slaves to the machine. So, and I mean, just look at this madness. What? See, this is supposed to pass for fashion.
That's how you smash the patriarchy, Chris.
Yes, the patriarchy, because everybody knows that's a thing. So, Spectre over London Fashion Week. The UK will be less than 7 weeks away from its scheduled departure from the European Union. Okay, there it is already. We're literally less than 2 full sentences in, and this is about the politics of Brexit. You know
Brexit
what?
bad, Orange Man bad.
Yeah.
Fashion Week. I swear they're connected somehow.
There's the whole thing going on in Great Britain right now with Brexit. Boris has the Queen have suspended Parliament. And there's this echo of disdain and almost rebellion around that. The claim being that the suspension of Parliament by the Queen is tantamount to the suspension of democracy. Well, I would say there is some truth to that statement. However, the fact of the matter is this. Unlike the United States, the UK votes by referendum on this item. We don't vote on individual laws at the federal level in this country, and I think that's a travesty. But what we do is we vote on representatives to go and vote, to cast those votes for us. Now, in the case of Brexit, the people of the United Kingdom voted by a wide margin. I'll look that up in just a second. They voted by a wide margin to leave the European Union. And I think that's the right move. The EU has been a disaster. So, that was the vote. And now there's a holdout faction in Parliament that's actively blocking the activity of Brexit.
Yeah, they've actually swung the makeup of Britain's Parliament back toward Remainers, who are going to actively slow down the Brexit negotiations at every turn. I think being able to see the whole picture put together, it's pretty obvious that this is part of why Parliament was suspended. I think, anybody that understood British politics internally knew what was going to happen. And so they tried to give Boris some breathing room. But that's all gone now. Britain's about to have their hard Brexit. Whoops. Freaking Theresa May. There's a reason why Trump talked shit about her. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And, okay, so England voted 53 and change. Okay, 55 to 45 to leave. Essentially a 10 points. Well, okay, 53 and a half to 46 and a half, just under a 9-10 point spread. So 9 to 10% of the spread. That's a wide margin in any vote. In most votes in the United States, the spread is basically 49% Republican, 49% Democrat, and then there's the 1% in the middle that kind of swings either way. So 53 to 46, that's a wide spread. That is, we would call that overwhelming popularity for the move.
Yeah, anything.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to agree with you that the way our politics work, once you get over, 52, 53% of the vote, we tend to think of that as a solid victory. You have the majority unquestioningly.
So, yeah, the fact of the matter is this. The Queen, it's not that she doesn't have the authority to suspend Parliament, or to suspend democracy, rather. Right now, it's not a thing which is possible. The suspension of democracy cannot occur in the absence of democracy. And as the Parliament has chosen to disregard and just shit up the noses of the Brits who voted democratically for them to perform a specific task, democracy was suspended when the UK failed to leave the European Union. That's more time than I wanted to spend on that topic, because this is what we're talking about. Okay, environmental protests is all but guaranteed to. The climate campaign group Extinction Rebellion canceled London Fashion, called for the total cancellation of London Fashion Week, describing it as, in a statement, as a parade of excess. You know what? That's fair. The sort of power brokers that we're talking about that are going to attend this event will be traveling in gas-guzzling, pollution-pumping private jets, giant yachts, huge, expensive cars.
We want for you to give up your SUVs, but we're going to continue to fly around on our private jets.
Yeah, and
Trust me.
as much as I think that the climate alarmists are wrong in general, um, about their estimation of the climate damage done by human activity, the I would say that this. I can actually give them some praise for this. This is frankly consistent with their principles. Whether or not I agree with their principles in this particular instance, I would say that they are consistently observing their principles. That's laudable. That's fair. London isn't the only city of the big four. The looks like two major brands have canceled shows in New York because of the venues being connected to Donald Trump fundraisers. Donald Trump fundraiser Stephen Ross. Yeah. Okay. So you gave money to Donald Trump, and so we're not going to give money to you. Again, that's fair as an adherence to your principles, but
yeah, that's how you deplatform
I
people
wonder.
now.
I wonder if any of them are canceling venues that gave money to the Clintons and are therefore connected to Epstein substantially.
Or Robert Byrd, who was Hillary's mentor, you know, just little things like that. And hey, the meme's been passed around social media, but climate change. If you really sincerely believed that the beaches were going to be underwater in 10 to 20 years, would you spend millions of dollars on beachfront property? I mean, of course, I'm referring to the Obamas buying a mansion in Martha's Vineyard.
Right.
Look, personally, this is not something I have a problem with. I don't have that sort of negative wealth envy. I actually believe that the wage gap is an entirely positive thing, not a negative thing, because it means you have economic growth. And if there are people that are rich enough to be able to buy those sorts of houses, well, that means that our economy has gotten to the point to where there are private citizens who can buy those things. And for better or worse, Obama was president for 8 years. And it's pretty well accepted that if you're a two-term president, like the rest of your life is golf and barbecue and charity events and, $200,000 speeches and stuff like that. So I really don't begrudge them this. In certain ways, I'm even happy for them. But if I really, really believed all this climate stuff, really, I don't think I'd buy beachfront property. I don't think I'd buy anything in Florida. Martha's Vineyard's not in Florida, but my point is, if you look at a lot of these really rich people that also believe in the whole climate thing, man, almost all of them have beach houses. And they're usually pretty expensive beach houses. So just makes you wonder. And then you heard about the Google summit that happened a few weeks ago, Chris, the Google summit on climate change. And everybody flew there. Like Leonardo DiCaprio flew there. The Obamas flew there. And it's like, how much fossil fuel did you guys burn just to go talk about climate change? And Google, what's Google going to do to help with climate change? They couldn't possibly manipulate data, could they?
So yeah, here further down the article, capturing the zeitgeist, BFC survey held before 2016 found that 90% of British fashion designers supported remaining in the EU. Okay. 90% of the people who support frickin' jailing comedians over jokes also support a rote adherence to a pseudo-communist multi-nation state? What? Okay, look, you weak sauce shitburgers. I think that's all I've got for you this morning without going too far in the wrong direction and way over our time limit for today.
Yeah, no Alex Joners this morning.
No, we're going to back it off. All right. That's all I got for you today. Tomorrow's Totar Win Tursday. Make sure you're here. Cameron, you got anything else for the good of the group?
Nope. Y'all have
All
a good
right.
day. Wake the hell up.
Be safe out there, guys. Remember, if you build a man a fire, you keep him warm for the evening. But if you set a man on fire, he'll be warm for the rest of his life.